draining all your energy, better pull them like a weed. Undefeated in life, shit, I sprouted like a seed.
Peace be to all. I hope everybody's having a beautiful and wonderful day. I'm just tuning in with y'all to show y'all how I make some FPJ. So I have some comfrey, and that's what I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna show y'all how I harvest it. I'm gonna show y'all how I get the process started. So you can use the leaves and the seeds as well, and the flowers. Mine are already going to flower. Also, it's better to do this with your own comfrey because the microbes are actually on the leaves. That's what's helping the FPJ. And basically what FPJ stands for is fermented plant juice. I'm also gonna harvest some of this borage because it's going to flower and it's very small. So I'm gonna just harvest the leaves basically. I mean the flowers. I'm gonna harvest the flowers. So now I'm just gonna chop this up using my pruners, and I'm gonna put it in this bowl, and then I'm gonna end up mixing it with some of this brown sugar right here. The best thing to do is just get some brown sugar. That's the cheapest thing that you will be able to find. Just get the cheapest brand. What I have right now, it's not the cheapest brand, but it works. So all I did, I just chopped it up into fine pieces, and then I mixed it with the brown sugar, and then I just stuffed it in these mason jars. In the mason jars, I just made sure that it was evenly coated, and then I put a good layer of the brown sugar on top to protect from microbial bacteria and stuff, because you don't want anything bad to get in there. So this is just making sure that it has basically a casing layer. What I'm going to be doing after this is putting a mesh cloth over it and then sealing it up with this. And then I'll be leaving it in a place outside to where the ants can't get to it, but the microbes can. So here it is right here. I have the mesh on top of it. And so I will be tuning back in with y'all in about 7 to 10 days so y'all could see the end product. Peace. Peace. So here I am 7 days later. I'm finna strain this out. As y'all can see, there's a little bit of mold growth on the top, but as long as it's white and it doesn't smell bad, you could just scrape that off. I'm gonna end up just putting that in this little bucket because I don't have nowhere else to put it, and I'm gonna throw it in my compost, and then I'll show y'all after I strain it out. So this is what it's looking like. As y'all can see, the moisture starts there. The smell that you will smell, it might smell a little bit like alcohol, which is a good thing. It might be a little sweet. It might still have that sweet smell from the sugar, but you don't want it to smell like rancid or anything that's dying or anything bad like that. So from there, I'm just gonna strain this out into this, and that's the reason I use the cheesecloth, because it's a little bit easier to strain off, and you could use the same one without having to waste the extra one. So this is about how much I'm left with. It's a little bit, but it goes a long way. You don't need very much of this. You could do about a half a tablespoon per gallon, all the way down to a quarter of a teaspoon per gallon. This is a very strong substance. All I recommend is for you to use rainwater so that you don't hurt the microbes. So I'm just mixing this one in with an older batch that I have. The older batch that I have, this one had mangoes and bananas in it. The way for you to supercharge this is basically whatever plant that you want to use it on, harvest the fruits from it. I know this may be the middle of the growing season, but if you have any fruits that may be rotting or going bad that come from that plant, use those in this process. So instead of using comfrey and borage, use tomatoes or use peppers. I don't recommend you use citrus, and if you have super hot peppers, I wouldn't recommend that, but match the plant to it, because whenever these things break down, the microbes will know, as well as there will be plant available nutrients for that specific plant. And when you want to use this, I recommend you using this right when you start beginning to see flowers on your plants. Once you begin to see flowers on your peppers, your tomatoes, your strawberries, things like that, that's when I would recommend using this. You can use this on your greens, but I recommend using it in the later life cycle just to continue the microbial activity within the soil. Peace. Always remember, it's a beautiful day to garden. Love your neighbor as you love yourself, and love yourself as you love your neighbor. Peace.
Draining all your energy, better pull them like a weed. Undefeated in life, shit, I sprouted like a seed.